It was great, man. Jelly's guys taught me how to shoot dice outside the bus.
I
walked up and everybody's just kind of been over. So what are y'all doing? He's like, you got some money? You want to play? It's like, yeah. How do I play? And she taught me. I won like $50. Hell yeah,
There
man,
you go.
You know?
Welcome back to the Take It Outside podcast. I'm your host, Sam Mackey, and today we have Kolby Cooper with us. He's an East Texas kid who went from playing shows right out of high school to racking up hundreds of millions of streams, selling out venues, and making his Grand Ole Opry debut. And this year, he had just released a new record, Love You, Goodnight. Kolby, thanks for hopping on with us, my man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, East Texas, whereabouts you from?
So I live in a little town called Bradford, Texas. It's,
Okay.
It's right between Palestine and Athens. And I mean, again, if you don't know where Palestine and Athens are, I'm like an hour from Tyler.
Okay.
If you don't know where Tyler is, I'm an hour and a half southeast of Dallas.
Got it. I haven't been in that area. One of my good buddies, he lives in Dallas, and he had a ranch in Albany, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe like 3 hours west of Dallas or so,
it's a good spot, man.
Yeah.
I like Dallas is a little too big, but my hometown's of like 35 people, so it's, I can get
35?
Yeah, straight up. You look up Bradford, Texas.
And you're 5 of them.
Yeah, that is a big talking point in my shows. I always go, we got 5 of the 35. I should be mayor. What's happening? One day I'll be mayor.
So what was growing up like out there?
It was country as shit. It was pretty much like just my dad worked on ranches when I was a young boy. And he started driving cow trucks when I was probably like 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of just either going to work with I went to work with my dad every day before I went, was in school. And even when I was in school, I mean, I would love to look back at my kindergarten year and see how many days I missed, because I would go like, my dad would go to Amarillo for 3 days and leave on like Thursday, and I'd just, be like, well, can I go with you? And he'd be like, hell yeah. And, mom would just be like, all right, I guess so. I missed probably, I don't know, felt like 40 days my kindergarten year, but it was a lot of just hanging out with my dad and doing country shit, going hunting, going fishing, working on ranches, and, working cows and riding anything you could think of, the typical country stuff,
Did you do any hunting when you were a kid?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys have hogs out there? I assume so.
Good God. Are you kidding me, man?
My idea of having, that Jamie, or I forget who sings the song. I think maybe Jamie Johnson. So my idea of having is chasing whitetail bucks.
Yeah.
Mine is cruising around, corn in a road, and then just, doing massive circles and just shooting hogs and just keep corning and keep shooting.
Absolutely, man. It is a blast. And man, I've seen so many this year, but I haven't. It's never been when I'm actually out and about. It's like I'm driving on, our blacktop or whatever, and I see 80 hogs out in the pasture. I'm like, oh shit! I don't know who lives there. I can't do anything about that. Or like I'll come home at night and go up our driveway and the grass in the pasture is tall, and I saw like this. Good God, it had to be a 200-something, 300-pound pig maybe just run across the road. I was like, oh my God, you see that, Jillian? She's like, what? And it just disappeared into like 5-foot tall grass. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not even going to tell you about it because you're not going to believe me. So it's, I've seen plenty of them. I haven't got to shoot at one this year, but
my buddy, he bought a couple of those like doom buggies.
Oh my God.
And with the lifted seats in the back, or not lifted, but the elevated seats in the
rack
back
to sit in. Oh, dude.
And he just goes right at them, and it feels like that. And he gets them in the spotlights, goes right at them. And we just mow them down.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did growing up. We have 2 T-Rexes, just like the Kawasaki, whatever.
Yep.
And we just sitting there with our buddies, sit there in the dark. Spotlight, bam, just chase them as fast as you can. Just having a good old time.
Hell yeah. How old are your kids?
My oldest is 7. She and then my second girl, she just turned 5. I mean, last week, and then our third is a boy, and he's almost 3.
I have 3 girls, 5, 7, and 9.
Dude, so I mean, we're not far at all,
man. Not
Come
at all.
on. Oh, dude, 3 girls. See, that's why I was first baby. I was like, I'm going to have a boy. I'm not a girl dad. This is not, I have to have a boy. And I was so confident it was going to be a boy until we did the gender reveal. And like when we did it, and I was just, oh no. I grew up with a brother, just one brother. That's it. Like like I said, doing shit with my dad, all that stuff. I was just like, oh no, I just saw boys and all the just being mean as a teenager and everything. I was like, oh, and then as soon as she popped out, I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. And, then I was like, cool, I'm gonna be a girl dad, whatever.
Yeah.
First 2 girls. And there's like some crazy stat where like after the first kid, it's like 50-50 on what the next gender will be. And then if you have 2 of the same sex, the third one's like 70%.
The margins narrow heavily.
Yeah,
I read this same thing on my third one.
It was like up until like 5 or 6 is finally when it's like you're like 90% to finally have a boy after the 5th or the 6th. And I was like, I'm not going to have 6 kids, dude. So we got pregnant with the third one. And I was just like, oh, 3 weddings. Cool. This is going to be awesome. And then I got home from Seattle one day. I was out like on a radio tour, and my wife called me and she's like, hey, I just got back from the doctor. And I was like, oh, great. Like, how'd it go? She said, well, I got in there and I told him like we found out for the first 2. Third one, we're like, we're not going to find out. We're like, it's one of life's only real surprises.
We did that with all 3 of ours. Didn't find out.
Dude, that's so awesome. Yeah. My wife is not that way. She literally like will make me tell her Christmas presents half the time. And I'm like, no, I want to surprise you, whatever.
See, that's me in our relationship.
I love a good surprise.
My wife's like, no, this is the last surprise.
Yeah. You know? Well, I was so excited and I was gone, and she called me and she's like, I went in there and I told him we weren't going to find out. And then when I was leaving, this girl gives me the envelope and says, the sex is in there. Just don't open it till after. And of course my wife's like the entire day just staring at it like, oh, what do I do? She called me twice. And the first time she called me, she's like, I think I'm going to open it. It's like, whoa, we're so like, we're halfway there. Can we not wait? Whatever. And I was like, at least wait till I get home and we'll talk about it. Because I was flying back from Seattle and I got home at like 10:30 or 11 that night. And she's just wide awake, just sitting there. And I walk in and she's like, are we going to do it? I was like, no. And then 10 minutes later, we set up the phone in the kitchen and we just opened it. And I was like, it's going to be a girl. And then, just seeing it was a boy, I was like, what? Is this right? Is this ours? And then sure enough, he popped out. His little boy. Hell yeah.
You mentioned 3 weddings to pay for, and that crossed my mind. But then I also know myself. I'm like, well, if I had a boy, and my wife's family's full of outlaws, and like if I had a boy, it's like, what's going to be higher, legal fees or weddings?
They could be competing. That's we'll see, man. That's my boy's a little heathen, man. So
what'd you do for a gender reveal?
Oh man, for the first one, we just like went over to her aunt's house. She's so like she can't wait for anything like that. Like I said, she's like gotta know. So we literally found out. Or whatever, like they're like, hey, there's the test, it's back. So and her aunt went and picked it up at noon, and by 3 p.m. we were over at her aunt's house, just sitting there, and she had literally just a sack with clothes in it, and we were like, oh, what is it? And pulled out. She really, really hoed me because she put blue wrapping paper in there, under like the pink and the blue, and it was wrapped in blue.
Gotcha, fucker.
Like, and I hold up the blue, and then boom, a pink onesie falls out on the floor. I was just like, huh? What? Why is it? You got me. It was tough, man. We and then the other one we did like the pop thing, and then the third one was just me and my wife in the living room. We didn't do anything crazy for any of the. I would have loved to blow up some tannerite or something. That would have been really cool.
That's kind of where I saw this going.
Yeah, if we could be patient and take our time, but it's just like, okay, we've got the envelope. What's the quickest thing we can do right now? Mm-hmm. Cool.
So you're 25, correct?
I just turned 26 in May.
So you had your first baby at 19, 18?
Yeah, 19 and got pregnant at 18. I graduated high school in 2017. And by October, me and my wife, well, she was my girlfriend, but I've known her since we were in 4th grade.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Well, with 30 people in this house.
Yeah. Let's say at the little 2A school, she's the prettiest girl in the school. And I was like, damn. Wish I could date her, and we were just like best friends from 4th grade until seniors. Because in 4th grade, my dad, he like I said, I grew up country as shit, and like the first time I was on a tractor by myself, I was 3 years old, and my dad put me up there and was like, "Follow me, ease off the clutch. If you get scared, kill it." I was like, "Okay." And so I told that story on stage the other day, and my guitar player, like I saw him like, fuck is he talking about to my drummer, and I got in the talk back. I was like, What'd you just say? And he's like, that's a joke, right? That's like, no, dude, I swear to God, go ask my mom. He's like, okay, dang, dude. But yeah, so in fourth grade, I, told Dad, I was like, hey, this girl that I really like lives right across the road from Grandpa's. Can I maybe like go over there and pick her up and take her riding across the road on the 4-wheeler? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So Dad, he's like, hell yeah, man, go out there and, awesome. So it was crazy because he got home from work. It was middle of summer. He got home from work at like 4 or 5 or something. And I took his truck and I put the bumper pull on and I, put my 4-wheeler up on there and drove 10 minutes down the road to her house and picked her up and took her ride. And it was like the greatest thing ever. I was like, oh, she's going to fall in love with me. And then I was friend zoned from 4th grade till we were seniors, but it worked out.
Really backfired there for a handful of years.
Dude, I was being used for my 4-wheeler the entire time. But I guess at least it got me married to her. So whatever.
This podcast was brought to you by Outsider. Check us out at www.outsider.com. Outsider is an outdoor lifestyle brand owned and operated by me, retired Navy SEAL Sam Mackey, and my dear friend and former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler. At Outsider, we encourage everyone to get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. Head over to outsider.com to check out our unique patent-pending drinkware. Outsider's drinkware can be customized with your personal or business logo. Go to outsider.com, upload your logo, and we will send you visual proofs and great wholesale pricing. And don't forget, get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. So, you brought up your dad would keep you out of kindergarten. I've done that quite a bit this year with my kindergartner, taking her on trips and things like that. Well, my whole family. But I believe there is a lot of value in just learning life skills and, being exposed to different cultures and, everything like that are more important than school.
1,000,000%. And
at that age,
Especially, I mean, the first, I guess shit is way harder than when I was in kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Like the stuff that my second graders learning, I'm like, pretty sure I was in 4th grade learning this, which is funny because my parents were like, I think I was learning that in 5th grade. And then I'm sure their parents were like, that was like senior high school shit for us.
Same boat. My middle daughter, she's a really good speller and I am not. And she's on she graduated from the yellow spelling words to the blue spelling words, and blue spelling words are more difficult. Yeah. And last night she's like, Dad, how do you spell quaint or sausage? I'm like,
let me look up what that even means.
Ask your mother.
I'm not the speller either, man. I've got my kids, at least my oldest pretty much already has better handwriting than me, and she's 7. So I have the handwriting of a kindergartner. And but we do the same stuff, man. I mean, as much as we can, especially me being gone so much, we tour full time from the end of January until we don't get off till December 13th is our last show of the year, and then we're off from the 13th until January 28th, and then it's just start it back up, go back around, the whole thing. So it's crazy with my oldest being in school every day, and my second is also in Mother's Day out every day, I guess pre-K though, and a Mother's Day out. Yeah. And it's the saddest thing to me because now I get home and I still have my boys home 3 days a week, but going from middle of summer when it's everybody's home all day, even when I'm gone, at least I'll get home and everybody's gonna be there. It'd be awesome. I get home on Sunday, get to hang out, and then pretty much all week I see them for 9 hours total. It feels like it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
It's the work-life balance is difficult, right? And I've been thinking about this a lot lately because in my previous life, I was in the Navy for the last 20 years and in the SEAL teams, and I mean, when we weren't deployed, we were traveling all the time. Yeah. And I had kids later on. I wasn't, I think I was 31 or 32 when I had my oldest. I'm 41 now. She's 9. So yeah, it was 32. And and that was towards the end of my career. But now, starting this new career, I'm on the road a lot, traveling for work, and you do it all for your kids. Yeah. But then you miss precious moments with your kids. Yeah. So it's that, internal conundrum. which is better, the, providing a, financial future for them in some realm, and, or, being with them in the moment. And what is that, what is that balance? What is that number? Is enough ever enough? And, for me, I have an issue because enough is never enough.
Yeah.
I get from one goal to the next, and it's not good enough. And the next. So, I try to just be cognizant of that as much as I can, and try to be as present as I can around my girls when they come home, because now all my kids are at the age where they come home and they come in the front door and they go right out the back door because all they want to do is play with friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they come back for dinner, and then it's time to go to bed an hour and a half later.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. And it is such a tough thing. Yeah. Figuring out every time I'm on stage, I'm doing this, this is for my family. I've had a family since I was 19. This is the shit that's inspired me the whole time. But then, in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, what if I was home on a Friday night and actually got to spend the entire weekend with them when they're actually home? And, so it is the whole thing of the past 2 years, we've played less shows than we had the previous 5 minus 2020. But we were doing 150 or so, give or take a few. And the past couple of years, we were around 100, 110. And even just those, 30, 40 shows taken off it's been great. But I still we got to the end of the year, and I was talking, my brother manages me, and I was like, man, what do we got to do next year to get a week off a month, or to get a couple more weeks off during the year, just to be home, or to get a week off during the summer? Because this summer we were basically gone all summer, and that's shit. I miss the best time of the year to be home is when they're home every day. And my oldest girl, she loves fishing, and she just loves being outdoors. And I took her hunting for the first time probably a week ago on Sunday or something.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. Yeah.
What'd you guys go after deer?
Sorry, what'd you say?
You go after deer?
Oh yeah. Deer, pig, coyote, but anything needs to be got,
Yep. I do a lot of that.
Bigfoot, if Bigfoot walks out.
Man, I'm smoking Sasquatch.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna yell, "Hey brother, is that a costume?" If I don't get an answer, here it comes.
More than likely, if I have an encounter with Sasquatch, he's going to be charging me, and I'm going to be in fear for my life.
Oh, see, if guy in costume's charging me, that's on him. That's I'm assuming you're real Bigfoot if you're charging me. That's just too much, man. And as a kid, Bigfoot really scared me. I don't know if I quite believe in Bigfoot.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Man, as a kid,
yes. I did.
My dad did. So it's your dad, whatever. Yeah, you're right, Dad. And kind of feel like an idiot now, but I don't know. It's so tough, man.
I think with all the game cameras that are out there, and everyone's using drones now, and
especially drones. I mean, you can literally fly over parts that people haven't touched in 100 years or so. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Either Bigfoot's a hell of a hider, or he's not real.
I'm going with not real now. I used to be on the fence. I do believe in aliens.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I believe aliens and ghosts.
Yeah, I believe in ghosts. I believe in aliens.
So that's why I kind of feel bad for leaving my boy Bigfoot off. Yeah. But it's just a 7 foot tall.
His program's getting exhausted with technology. You know what I mean? He needs to make another appearance. He needs to he needs to shake the bush.
A good one. And there hasn't been a good one in a while. And even the Zapruder film, or whatever, the original one, that's certainly a guy in a costume. I mean, look at it, man. That's whoa.
Well, Ben or Trevor, do the guys for Blurry Creatures right here next door, do they believe in Bigfoot?
Yes, they do, 100%.
What is the most compelling piece of evidence that you have heard them talk about that makes you kind of believe, if not believe, in Bigfoot?
I wouldn't say I fully believe, because they think he's some interdimensional creature that can walk through portals and whatnot.
That's a little too deep for me.
Okay. At this point, honest to God, I would believe anything. The world's such a fucking crazy place. But interdimensional Bigfoot is too, that means he would just boop.
Yeah.
Imagine he just what'd you say about me? And he's right here between us in the chair. That's what they're saying, right?
I mean, I wish that would happen.
If you wanted to.
We'd be famous as shit if that happened to us right now.
Dude, can you plug my song, Bigfoot?
Yeah, I hit him this guitar.
Whatever, dude, smash it over my head. I don't care, man. That would be sick.
How'd you get into music?
So
big segue off of Bigfoot.
yeah,
there.
Bigfoot actually inspired me heavily. No, my dad. It was really my dad. He wasn't like a musical guy or anything, but he was always singing, just in his dad voice. He was the most like morning person ever, which is surprises me because I'm not by any means a morning person. He'd wake up happy singing. I'm like, oh damn, dude, it's 7 a.m. How are you so excited to be awake? But he was, he's like my best friend, and he passed away when I was a freshman in high school. I'm
sorry about that, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's life's fucking tough, man. It's part of it, but that's I think the reason you got to try and enjoy your company as much as you can, because you never know when you're not going to see him again. But it was ever since I was a kid. Like I said, I was going to work with my dad. I was constantly with him, like I was born, and I think my mom said it was like I may not even have been a month old yet, and he went out in the big truck, and he was like, "All right, we're leaving," and took me and put me in the passenger seat, and she was just at the house by herself, like, all right. And, he's like driving. He'd pull over at a truck stop and change my diaper, put me back in. And so I was always with him from a young age. And he was such a massive music fan. He was he was like a music critic, like
really?
A good old boy, whatever. Loved classic country and loved Texas and red dirt country. And so that was kind of where I got my taste for music and kind of got like inspired. Like Waylon was both of our favorite artists. Like as a kid, my dad was always like, Waylon's the fucking best. He's the GOAT. Yeah. No one's ever gonna, well, he didn't say GOAT. Waylon's the greatest of all time. No one's ever gonna, and I still believe that, man. I do.
You think Waylon's the greatest of all time?
I do, absolutely. I don't think
I love Waylon and I love Merle Haggard, and but I'm stuck on George Jones being the greatest of all time.
Yeah, no, dude, that's honestly, man, there's so many greats, and it's definitely like some nostalgia. But even just like listening now, like the new Waylon record that just dropped that Shooter produced and still like we're fixed up, whatever they ended up doing to it is just God. It's top to bottom. There's not a bad song for me, and that's my brother called me and asked me. He's like, "Hey, have you listened to the new Waylon record?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's incredible. It's so great." And he's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Is it like some of his best songs?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just think they're incredible. Like, I wouldn't like rank it like that." It's like I think everything he does is awesome. It's just like there's nothing he could do. Like he could put whatever they have unreleased out, and I'm gonna be like, "Yes, that's great."
What's your favorite Waylon song?
Probably such a tough question, dude. But Rose in Paradise is tough to beat for me. I just love like the production on it, the guitar. I feel like that production is ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And it's so I don't know, so cool. But there's a ton, like Drinking and Dreaming is one of my favorites.
I think Way More Blues might be mine.
Great. Another great song. Like I said, there's so many you can name. I mean, this, dude, there's, like I said, I have, on my Spotify playlist, probably have 150 Waylon songs on there. And I've listened to he's got I can't remember how many it was at. It was like 50 to 70 albums or something like that. And at one point I made a point, like for a solid 2 months straight, every night to listen to the next Waylon albums. I started at like in the 50s or whenever the first one came out and got all the way to like the 2000s. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. I found so many songs that I never even heard growing up, so I highly recommend doing that for your
Those guys
artist.
put out a lot of music back then.
Dude.
A lot of music.
I mean, how many albums has Willie dropped at this point? Like,
I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say 75.
I feel like it's like around there. Like it may be close to 100 with all like the compilation albums, like the albums he did with somebody, there's so many. And it was just so cool, man. That is a cool thing about music back in the day, I think, is like so many songs were covered by so many artists. Yeah. Because half of them weren't even writing the song, and it'd be like, well, Waylon cut it, Christopherson wrote it, and then Johnny Cash cut it too, and then Willie cut it, and then Patsy Cline cut it or whatever. Like just it's cool, man. I love that. I wish it was still like that today. Yeah. And the duo albums, it's almost like the rapper style where it's like two badass.
It was the original collaboration.
Totally. Right? Like there's all the Willie Waylon records. I mean, the Outlaw record's one of my favorite records of all time.
I agree.
Oh my God, dude. All those Billy Joe Shaver songs are.
When did you get your first guitar?
Oh man, I actually, so I was like,
or first guitar and start playing.
Yeah,
you know,
I was probably, well, I really wanted to play as like, you know, a 4 or 5 year old, just being inspired by Waylon and stuff.
Yeah.
My dad'd be like, yeah, it's badass. Like, look, he plays an electric guitar on stage. It looks cool. And it's like, whoa, he does have a sick guitar, and he is playing electric when everybody else is playing acoustics and stuff. Like, this guy, you know, he's got the long hair, he's got the everything, man. He's got the swag, you know, he's the reason I think cigarettes look cool. You know, I don't smoke them because my wife would be mad at me, but dude, if she wouldn't be mad at me every show, I'd have a cigarette at the end of my guitar like Waylon. That shit looks cool, man.
It does.
But I was probably like 4 or 5, and I got a guitar, and I was like, this is going to be awesome. And I got it home, and I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't know you're supposed to press the strings down hard, so I was just like, the first 2 years barely touching the strings, and I was like, this is stupid. It doesn't work, man. You know, so I put it down. Got another one when I was like 7 or 8. You know, finally got an amp too. I didn't have an amp with the first. I had an electric and with no amp, so it was just really quiet.
It's probably perfect for your parents.
Oh, yeah, they were stoked about it. Then I got one when I was like 7 or 8. Looked up, you know, like one YouTube video of how to play like a, I don't know, it's like some Aussie song, and I couldn't do it. And I'm like, well, all right, put it down for a couple of years, and then finally when I was like 11. My tour manager, he's been one of my best friends since we were in 4th grade too. And the entire time we would hang out, we just, you know, it's like the cycle. We'd go there, we'd play video games for an hour, we'd go outside, hit golf balls for an hour, throw the baseball for an hour, go back inside, play video games, and just do that cycles over and over and over. And one day I went over there, and I was like, we were like 11 or 12, and we were doing that cycle, you know, outside, baseball, golf, games. Couple times, and then we go in his room, and I'm like, hey, you about ready to go play baseball again? And he just picks up a guitar and he starts playing it. It's like, when did you learn how to play guitar, dude? He's like, oh, my uncle taught me. And I went, you think you can teach me how to play guitar? This would be awesome. And I mean, within 10 minutes, he taught me Sweet Home Alabama. And we went in the living room. And I was like, Julie, talking to his mom. I said, Julie, listen. You know, she was like, wow, that's awesome. And then immediately we went back in there and learned like a Off the Record by Aaron Watson. And then we learned a Randy Rogers song. And it was like the start of it. He taught me 3 chords. He taught me D, C, and G. And I went home and I told my dad, I was like, Dad, I can play guitar. And he was like, no, you can't. You left yesterday, and you got back. You can't. What are you talking about? You can't. I was like, I swear to God, JT taught me. I can do it. And I went in there and got my old shitty guitar that was sitting there, tried to do it completely out of tune. He was like, I was like, it's just not. Something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with it. It doesn't sound like it did at JT's house, you know. And that was kind of it. And like 2 days later, I got home from school, and I walked in the garage, and there was a guitar case sitting on the like the deep freeze, you know, nosy little kid. I was like, who the hell's this? You know, and I popped it open and looked, and I was like, holy shit, it's an acoustic, and it had the electric acoustic, had the input jack on it. I was like, oh my God, I literally just asked Dad for that. That's got to be mine, you know, and whatever, go inside. And my birthday was the next day, and Dad got home from work, and I was just like, whose guitar is that? And he's like, oh, it's so-and-so's. And I was like, oh, all right, whatever. In my head, I was like, that's weird, whatever. I woke up the next morning, he was like, here you go, gave it to me, and I, you know, whatever, played it, and he's like, damn, I guess you can play guitar. I was like, I told you, I know a couple chords. And from there, that was kind of the start of it, man. I wrote my first song at like 12. It was terrible. It was called Love Song, and it was actually about my wife. Funny enough, I've been madly in love with her since I was in 4th grade. I don't know if I've told her this story, but it was called Love Song, and it was awful, man. But it was like basically like the gist of it was, I want to pick you up and take you to the movies and hold your hand and write a love song, whatever. And that was the whole thing. And it was bad, and it was so bad that my brother, being the little asshole he was at 9. He found my book of songs, and he ripped it out and threw it away. It's just like, where'd this go? He's like, it was terrible. Whatever. I was like, damn. Okay. I don't think I wrote another song for like a year. But then we started writing. Me and JT wrote. And finally, at like 15, we wrote, I guess, a song. And we were like, well, this this is actually kind of good. And there's a song called Every Single Kiss that wound up being our very first song we put out. And I was 15, he was 16, and I couldn't even drive legally. And he came and picked me up and took me to this guy named Ty Stokes' house. And we sat there and we wrote. And once we got through, we got back to the house. And like on the way home, we were listening to like the recording on the phone. We're like, damn, this is pretty cool, man. Like, you know, and then it kind of was just a thing from 15 till we graduated. We played it at every show we played. We'd play like 19 covers and then play the one original song we had. And it was like the moment of the show, like, come on, this is the one song. And it was always the one that no one paid attention to. It's like we'd play a Randy Rock, like Kiss Me in the Dark, and then we'd play Every Single Kiss. Everybody'd turn around and we'd play like, you know, Loved 'Em Everyone by T.G. Shepherd, and people would turn back around like, yeah, we know this one. But it was like, you know, getting practice out there. And it was funny because at our school, like all JT's older brother, he's probably about 6 years older than us. Him and all of his friends loved the song. Like, we can't wait for y'all to release it, blah, blah, blah. That was a couple year thing. And there was like a little hype in our hometown for it. And then we wound up putting it out. And I was working for my grandpa. And I remember I was working on the farm. He has a farm and he has a construction company. So it was like I would either go to Palestine and help build houses, which, God, I hated that. Terrible. Or I'd go to his farm and do stuff that I really liked, like, you know, sit in his big ass cab tractor and mow pastures with a bat wing, or just like, you know, anything that was not going to town and sitting out in the sun and where I wasn't close to home at least. And I remember being on the bat wing, just like mowing the day after it came out. And I just kept like checking my phone. I was like, dude, we're at 300 streams already. This is crazy, man. Oh, we're at 600 streams, you know, whatever. And I just like checking the listeners every day and be like, wow, dude, this is cool. And at one point it was like, wow, this is actually doing kind of good. Like, maybe I don't have to finish college. You know, I'm finishing a year of basics and supposed to start nursing school at the end of that year. And thank God by the point that I was supposed to apply for nursing school, it was like, man, I think that we kind of got something going enough to like try this out. And I was super bummed because I did not want to go to nursing school and have to try and make nursing school and a music career work at the same time. And my wife and my mom in May of 2018 set me down, and they were like, hey, we can see that you're hating what's going on. Like, you don't want to do this. Why don't you just take a year off of school and try and do music for a year? And if at the end of that year you feel like there's something there, or you feel like, you know, this is what you want to do, just try that, whatever. And, you know, by the end of the year, like the first show he played was in Ben Wheeler, and it was July 20th of 2018, and it was my daughter was born 10 days later. So like I always say, like my music career kind of started like 10 days before my first kiddo was born.
Did your wife go to the concert?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was probably about 30 minutes away from where we lived, and we showed up, and I was like, man, I wonder how it's going to be tonight. We went and asked, and they're like, there's 25 tickets left. And I was like, damn, it was like a 200 cap room. And we were like, dude, we may sell this thing out. And I think we ended up selling like 195 tickets. We're like, dude, we almost sold out our first show. Like it was awesome.
Did you almost go buy those extra 5 so you could put sold out up there?
Dude, it was a serious thought in my head. Like, what if we just spend, you know, the $40 that it would cost? These tickets are probably $7 a piece or so. And I didn't really have $40 to go spend on it though, so I couldn't justify that. But it was it was kind of the start of it all, man. Like from that first show, it was like, oh hell yeah, this is what I'm gonna do until I'm, you know, not able to do anything. You know.
So what was the moment where you're like, okay, this is gonna work? Really, that first show? Was it that show? That first show, man. Like just getting to show up, and like, you know, I knew it was like a hometown thing, but just that first, I don't know. I just had confidence after that first one. I was like, dude, this is what and I just feel like it's what I'm meant to do and called to do, you know, since I was a young kid, like the way that I bonded with my dad over music, and he passed away when I was a freshman, and I started playing guitar in like 7th grade-ish and started getting more serious in 8th grade. And like, I'd sit there and, you know, play him songs and do the whole thing. So I'm just thankful he got to like, you know, watch the start of it, in person. And
it was really inspiring. It was just like, I feel like, and the way he loved watching me play, and he loved it. He was super confident in me. He was like, "You're awesome. Like, this is," like he'd have friends come over and watch me play. Like, y'all got to come listen to my boy. And they'd show up, and I'd walk outside all nervous, holding my guitar, and my ass only knew half songs. So I'd get through like a verse and a chorus, then stop, and they'd be like, "Come on, finish it." And I'm like, "That's all I know. I know about 7 songs total, and that's all half songs." So I got 14 half songs locked in my brain, so it was really inspiring just seeing that, I think, and seeing how happy it made him. And it just, it was one of the things, like, also my family, like, just wanting to support them and wanting to make them proud and that whole thing. But it was definitely like seeing my dad. It was the biggest inspiration, influence, just him being stoked about it and him being proud of me. I was like, yeah, I gotta do this,
That is quite inspiring, right?
Yeah.
Especially now that he's passed and looking back at those memories. And like it's gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Especially as far as you've came. I assume or I can assume all the thoughts that are going on in your head. And it's like dang, it all started because of you, Dad.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely, man. That's like we've, thank God, man. We're so blessed. We've been on a bus for the past 5 years, and it's just, it's like a dream, man. Just showing up to go to work and getting on a fucking tour bus is crazy. I still feel like it's the first time every time I walk up to it. I'm like, dude, this is like, and also my dad, he drove big trucks and stuff. So I just, I know there's another lifetime where he's like my driver and shit. And he's
how cool would that be?
Oh yeah,
dude?
man. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
When did you get a sign with the record label?
Oh man, I was probably 4 or so, 5 years ago, I think, man.
How'd that come about?
Dude, it was just word of mouth kind of thing, and we got hit up, and it was one of those things, man. We took a few meetings, and it was cool.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Was that a life-changing day for you? Would you say?
No.
Okay.
It was cool. It was just weird, man. It was like it was interesting. Like, it was like something I never thought would happen. Really, it was like my dream as a kid was just to play in Texas, and like that was kind of as big as I dreamed. I was like, I'm gonna tour Texas and Oklahoma forever, and I'm gonna be the next Randy Rogers or what, that kind of thing. And so even like whenever we first started leaving Texas, I was like, why are we doing that? Like, no one's gonna give a shit about us, out there. And then I remember we went and opened up for Sam Riggs in California, and I was probably 19 or so, and that was like just wild to be going to California at 19. The only time I'd left Texas was with my dad in the big truck, and I'd flown once before I was 18, and it was when I was in 4th grade. We went to Disney World, and it was like I flew twice. I flew there and back, and that's it. And so we went to California. And it took us like 32 hours to get from College Station to Pismo Beach. And I was like, wow, we had like, maybe $500 in my account, and diesel expensive as hell out there. So it was like show to show, like, we got to go deposit that check. The $250 we just got has to go in the account, or we're not going to make it to LA, or we're not going to make it to Vegas. And, like I said, we were stoked to be out there, but I was like, man, this is interesting. Like, I wonder what's going to happen. Like, they're probably not going to give a shit. And we showed up to the first show, play the first song, and everybody was singing. And I was like, kind of looking at the guys, like, what is that? And we played the next song, they're singing, and like we played like 9 songs, and at least some of the crowd or most of the crowd was singing the songs. And it's like, how? I come from Bradford, Texas, a town of 35 people. How the hell did these people in Anaheim and these people in Vegas and these people in just all these towns we got to play on that run hear about us, And it was just that was really like a life-changing moment. I feel like just seeing that it can be bigger than that. It can be, it can go anywhere.
People from Texas spreading the word. One of my great friends, Eric, he's from Amarillo, Texas, and then his cousin is also, from Amarillo, and they like Red Dirt Country, and so he's always listened to, I'm going to call it up and comers, like, hey, my cousin heard of this guy, at this bar, whatever. You need to take a listen to him, and him and I have been doing that since 2008. You know, and
Yeah.
he introduced me. He knew about folks like 10 years before they got famous.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm sure it's just word of mouth. you know?
It is, man. It's a grassroots thing, and that's
Yeah.
like the coolest thing I think about music is you know, I mean, gatekeeping sucks, but it's also like I was the same way when I was a kid. It was like, no, dude, I know all these badass artists that you don't even know.
Yep.
You don't even know them, dude. And then it's like they start getting big. It's like, oh gosh, no, this is crazy. But it's funny, man. It's really funny. But it is just a grassroots thing. It's like, hey, man, have you heard this? Have you heard this Every Single Kiss song? It's like, yeah. And I was just seeing that and just watching the streams get a little bit bigger each day. And it's like, whoa, this is cool. I think people kind of like the song or whatever, you know. So it's like I don't know. It's the most rewarding thing is feeling that like just natural, just like, wow, they actually like the song.
How many streams did you get before you signed with a record label? If you know off the top of your head.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was probably like maybe probably around
30 or 40 million. Wow. So you were making money before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, man. Totally. Yeah. It was great. It was super like I said, like I don't know. I told my wife whenever we first started, I was like, no, I've been watching the scene for a long time. I've been, you know, growing up, seeing how this happens. And I was like, it seems like it takes about 10 years to make any money. And she's like, shit, all right, cool. And, you know, so I was like, you got to support me, you know? And within a year, I didn't take any money for a full year of touring. So the first year I was out of high school, I worked for my grandpa, and the second year. And the second year is when we started touring full time. So I was like gone 3 or 4 days a week, and then I'd get home on Sunday, and Monday morning I'd get up at 7 a.m. and work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, head back out. And I didn't take any money that year, and it was just because, I mean, you really can't. We weren't making like, you know, opening shows and stuff at that level. They pay like $200 to $400 a show, and you know, maybe you make like 500 to 1,000 in merch, which is like, that was great. Like, hell yeah, we actually made a little bit of money, but then you got to buy more merch. The whole, you know, the whole thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm in the product business.
Oh yeah. So you know exactly how it is, man. It's pretty intense, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense, but,
It's no stress like financial stress.
oh dude, absolutely, man. But after that first year of taking no money, it was about August of the next year. I remember my manager was like, all right, I think y'all can probably take like a salary now. I was like, what? Really? Like, all right. You know, so I just, right after that, I talked to my grandpa and I was like, hey, you know, this is kind of getting a little more serious. I think I'm probably going to need to just start doing this full time. He's like, hell yeah, good job. Congrats. You know, that whole thing. And I was, cause there was one time after Every Single Kiss came out, we were driving home from work and just dog tired. We'd been building a house all day, just out in like, you know, 100-degree weather or whatever, just miserable. And we're driving back to the house, and I'm just kind of leaned up in the passenger seat, trying not to fall asleep. And we were listening to the local like Palestine radio. I heard Every Single Kiss come on. I was like, damn. And I just looked over at him. I turned it up, and he was like driving, and it kind of got into it. And he's like, "This you?" I was like, "Yes, sir." And he's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" It's like, I ain't making no money, you know. But after that, you know, finally we started taking a salary, and it was, my wife was able to be a stay-at-home mom she just, like, this year, she was like, so it's been about 5 years of being a stay-at-home mom, which we've been so blessed to be able to do that and just be able to have her home with the kiddos all the time, especially with me gone so much.
It's a good mental relief. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. But at this point, like, you know, probably 7, 8 months ago, she was like, all right, I think I'm kind of ready to do something. I'm tired of staying at home. Cause you know, now we got two in school full time and 1-2 days a week. And, so now she's just like trying to figure out what she wants to do. She you know, thought about doing like realty, thought about doing nursing, all that stuff. And I think she kind of settled on wanting to be a teacher, which is so like, really? You only, like, I didn't know you really wanted to do that. All right. And she's been up at the school subbing and trying it out, and she loves it. And which is like, that's
perfect.
Kind of the next best thing to being a stay-at-home mom. She's going to be up there at the school, you know, where the kiddos go. And It's cool, man. It's cool. We've been super blessed.
That's amazing. So when did you go on tour with Co?
Oh, dude. So,
we had him on earlier in the year or last year.
Yeah, man.
He has some stories.
Yes, he does, man. He's my guy, man. They took us out for the first time. So we started like July 20th of 2018, and our first shows with him, I want to say were January or so of 2019, or maybe just before the turn of the new year. And I mean, he was still playing like the clubs that we're playing now, like 500 to like 2,000 cap rooms and stuff. But we did this tour in Louisiana with them, and it was all like probably 500 cap rooms. And we showed up to the first one in New Orleans at the House of Blues, and it was crazy, man. Because we like, especially looking back now, like seeing where Co's at. Like, I mean, just played the Garden, and like just everything he's doing is so awesome. Because I watched him in a room where it was like this little bitty room that was like, maybe take everything out of here and put a stage in. It's like fit as many people as you can in here, and it was a full room. 200 people, and the next night was, it wasn't even sold out. It was like 300 people in a 500 cap room, and it was like, wow, this is awesome. And then fast forward a couple years later, we opened for him in OKC at the Thunder Arena. It was like, holy shit, dude! There's 12,000 people here. Like, I'd take away, to take away 11,800 of them, and that's the first show that I got to see, and it's cool, man. It's really cool, and they're just great people, and they really taken care of us, and kind of helped show us the ropes right out of the gate. We were green as hell, man. Their old TM Colton really kind of whipped us into shape the first couple of shows, and it was funny, man. We were terrified of him back in the day, like, oh God, why is he being an asshole to us? And then like the next one we go on with him, he's like, I was just trying to help y'all out, right? We're like, yeah, we figured that out after we got off the road with y'all,
Whether you're trekking in the backcountry, bird hunting, or just chasing squirrels in the backyard, your dog needs fuel that can keep up with the adventure. And that's where Montana Dog Food comes in. Born in the heart of Big Sky Country, this isn't just dog food. It's adventure-grade nutrition. Crafted with responsibly sourced ingredients from the western U.S. and freeze-dried to lock in every ounce of goodness, Montana Dog Food Company delivers clean, powerful fuel for your pup's wild side. No shortcuts, no synthetic junk, just premium, nutrition-packed meals and treats designed to support strong muscles, healthy joints, and endless energy, whether you're trekking trails or snuggling by the fire. So give your dog the food that fuels their adventurous spirit. Go to montanadogfoodco.com and feed your dog the best. Did he tattoo you at all?
No, he's never tattooed me, but
does he tattoo? I think we talked about it. I think he like had something on his thigh that he tattooed himself or something like that. Yeah,
he does. I haven't been around him with the tattoo guns out, thank God. But I do have an Oklahoma City Thunder tattoo on my thigh from that show that a lot of us got matching tattoos. So I thought that's cool. My whole goal is to like any sports team or arena, stadium, whatever I get to play. Hopefully at some point I'm going to tattoo on my leg and have like the whole like
really?
I got the Thunder. I need to get the Spurs logo. And then I need to play more. And then I need to, it'd be so cool just to.
You should start selling real estate for advertisement ads.
If anybody wants to tattoo, your name or your logo on my body, give me $1,500. Thank you.
How much?
$1,500. For the first,
for
price may go up as it go. It's like land. As it kind of gets smaller, they're going to get more expensive.
Would you get our logo, the Outsider logo, which is on your? I gave you some drinkware there for you.
Yeah, well, maybe I was kind of joking. Shit, I don't know.
I mean, $1,500. We might seal this deal before the end of this conversation.
Shit, it started too low. Where's the tattoo gun? Bring it in here.
My cousin, my wife, her dad is one of 19 kids. Right?
Oh my!
Big Catholic family from South Dakota. So I think she has over 100 first cousins or something. Their family's huge. At our wedding, we've been married 15 years, and at our wedding, I think I had realistically maybe 25 people. Yeah. Right. 30 at most, and we had 250 people at our wedding.
That's a lot. Holy
because I come from a small family. But anyway, so every 3 years she has family reunions, and this last year we had one. It's always back at the farm in South Dakota, and where her dad's from. And her cousin Micah, recently his kids got moved out of the house, so he's living by himself. He's like, man, I need a hobby, and so he picked up tattooing.
Oh, dude.
And so then
That's a random hobby to pick up.
I know, right? But it's
like
kind of
baseball cards or something, dude.
Yeah. Like make trades or bottles,
dude. God,
ships in a bottle.
It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick.
But so he picked up tattooing, and he tattooed himself a lot. Well, I don't know. This is Saturday night, maybe around midnight. He breaks out the tattoo kit.
Yeah.
Right after we've been partying all day, and everyone's lined up, and and this is in my Aunt Lisa's garage, right? And
super sterile.
Oh yeah, no, I'll give it to him. He had a full setup, right?
Good.
And everyone's getting tattooed. They're getting like little designs or what have you. And I'm like, man, me and one of my wife's cousins, like, let's go get some inspiration, right? So we go smoke a doobie. We're walking back. I'm like, I got it, dude. And first it started off with an earthworm sitting on a couch with a cowboy hat on and like a lasso, kind of like the old earthworm Jim, you know?
Dude, that's sick.
And then I'm like, no, I don't think that's it. I'm like, I think I'm going to get a mallard duck holding an AK-47,
also
just
sick.
Ready to blast, right?
Yeah.
And so he drew it up, and well, then two of our other cousins are like, hey, I want that too. I'm like, you can go first. And the next thing you know, it's like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I went to bed and never got it. But I know her cousin Chelsea got it. I don't know if anyone else got it, but she straight up has a mallard duck holding an AK.
So the whole thing is just get you high and then let you come up with badass tattoos. Huh?
You know what I mean?
Those are 2 stellar tattoos. Both of those, they're great.
And I have a bunch of tattoos. And my wife at one point, she's like, well, you don't have any for me. I'm like, I'll get your name on my neck. Like, I don't care. And she's like, no, it has to be meaningful. I'm like, all right, what reminds you of me? And she goes, deer. She's like, what about you? I said, rabbits. Because, every night we'd walk around the neighborhood. And every time we see a bunny, she'll go, oh, look, a bunny. Oh, look, a bunny. Right?
Yeah.
And she looks at me, she goes, why don't you get a jackalope? I said, I'll get the biggest fucking jackalope anyone's ever had tattooed on. So I have a jackalope that goes from my knee to my hip.
That's sick, dude. Jackalopes are cool as hell, bro. That's a sick tattoo, man. I got just a J on the side of my finger. I surprised my wife. She was coming out to a show, and I got a few other tattoos. And I was like, hey, can you put a J on my finger? He's like, sure, man. You put it right there. She got there, and I was showing her all these tattoos. I was like, oh, and check this one out. And she's like, what the? Oh, my God. You got – wow. And yeah, my wife, she got a tattoo too. She got my logo tattooed on her, which is pretty hot.
Yeah, I like that. All right.
Yeah.
I got my wife and kids' initials, so it's KJJM on my wrist, but I got that in a living room in Bogota, Colombia.
Let's go, dude.
That's I have a bunch of living room tattoos.
Yeah, that's they're it's pretty legendary, man. I would love to have a tattoo gun for the bus, but I just know that
it's gonna get out of hand.
I'd wind up with a terrible neck tattoo or face tattoo or something that I didn't really want the next day. Like, oh God, what have I done?
So, did you go on tour with Jelly Roll as well?
Yeah, we did this tour with
Jelly
and Co. It was a couple years ago, I think, a year and a half, 2 years ago, somewhere in that area, and that was awesome, man. It was me, Jelly, and Co. And that
the 3 of you were together,
dude.
Oh, dude, how fun was that?
Oh my God, it was one of my favorite tours we've done.
And, get a little wild.
They're both the same way, man. They're both we got. Well, that's the issue, man. Is we smoke so much and we drink enough to where I hardly remember the actual bus hangs, but it was great, man. Jelly's guys taught me how to shoot dice outside the bus. I walked up and everybody's just kind of been over. So what do y'all do? He's like, you got some money? You want to play? It's like, yeah. How do I play? He taught me. I won like $50. Hell yeah!
There you go. What does a day look like on tour with Jelly Roll and Co. Also?
Man, it's everything's pretty tame during the day.
So what's that look like? You wake up at noon, 1 in the afternoon,
probably,
after traveling,
probably right? About noon or 1, and that's it's so. I'm a night owl. I would rather.
Yeah, likewise.
I've always been up late and woken up later. But it's tough now at the house of the kids and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Try to wake up at 7. do the whole thing, but then I'm basically given one day on Sunday to fully flip my schedule of going to bed at 4 a.m. and waking up at noon to going to bed at midnight and waking up at 7. But it's you just wake up, typically wake up like 11 to noon.
I assume the bus is pretty quiet just because everyone kind of feels like shit, right? No one really wants to talking about everybody kind of wants their own space.
Yeah, it's pretty, you go up in the front lounge and whoever's like the morning guys are already up there hanging out, having a good time. But like, everybody else is asleep in the bunk. And then I've got a little bed in the back that I snooze in, and I'm good at sleeping. I can do it, man. Nothing really bothers me. I'm a heavy, I sleep like a damn stone, man. But yeah, wake up at like noon, and I fast during the day normally. So like, there's the food and stuff. A lot of the dudes will go eat, and I'll normally just sit up on the bus and play video games. Or
do you guys pull over at a restaurant or something to eat?
No, not normally. We just every night after the show, JT, our tour manager, he'll have something up on the bus. By the time we get up on the bus, like it's normally like either Domino's Pizza or Chipotle or McDonald's. It's really just like or Taco Bell. Sometimes it's like those four like your only options half the time. If Whataburger's around, we'll grab Whataburger, just like the big burger box. But yeah, man, it's but there's also like the food during the day if you want to eat. Like there's the like the catering and stuff, which is so hit or miss. Though, like sometimes catering's like, wow, this is awesome, and then sometimes it's like cafeteria food.
Now, so you wake up. And you're still traveling, or do you typically wake up in like the parking lot of the venue?
Yeah, okay. Normally we're there because we'll leave like we always try to be to a venue by like 9 or so. Okay, but it depends. Like if we have a show that we get off stage at midnight and then we got to drive 8 hours, then we'll get there like 10 or so. But yeah, they're pretty tight on travel schedule and stuff, and they got it pretty down packed to where I just wake up and I'm like, oh, cool, the venue. Mm-hmm. Nice. But then the worst is like, waking up and the venue's locked and you gotta go take a shit or something, man. It's like, oh God, pulling on the door, please open. And you gotta walk like half a mile down the road to the nearest like gas station or something just gross, man. Yeah, but I don't know.
Has anyone ever put scooters or bicycles on the back of the tour bus?
No, we've had one scooter.
Or in a trailer or something?
We've had one scooter up under the bus, like just, but nothing. I want to get like a whole fleet of them, dude. I would love just to be able to show up.
Start a little scooter gang,
dude. That's what we call ourselves, is a scoot gang, man.
Me and my neighbor, we talked about starting a scooter gang, and our name we came up was the Side Cart Boys, because we're gonna have side carts. And I think I'm a side cart guy. I wouldn't mind just chilling in that side cart.
I would love. I mean, it had to be a hell of a side cart for me to fit in it, but I'd kill as a side cart guy for sure.
So, do you guys party like before you go on stage, or just a couple drinks, or like? I'm just curious, like to be a fly on the wall during that,
dude. We're honestly like we're pretty much the most tame crew that I know. We just smoke a lot of weed, and we drink a little bit, but not too much. Like before the show, like some of the dudes will have like a shot, 2 shots. Every once in a while, I'll have a shot before a show, and on stage, I may have like. On a night where I'm drinking, I'll have like 4 or 5 shots, but it's not like I don't.
You drink beer or just hard liquor?
It depends. I've gotten more into beer over the past year, just because it's another thing, man. I thought my dad looked cool as hell drinking just like a Yellow Belly, and so that's
what I drink now.
That's my go-to, man. It's just a banquet.
That's a good beer.
Oh, it's underrated. Like you tell some people you drink banquets, and they're like, gross, man, but those people fucking drink like the Pine Tree beer and stuff like that. So you can't.
I'm not a like an IPA guy or like a craft brew. Yeah, I'm not a craft brew. Yeah, I drink NASCAR beer. I drank Coors Light for years and switched to Bud Light because that's what my father-in-law drank. And then they went woke, so I went back to Coors Light. Yeah, dude. And then I was out in Montana and with Jay, and he bought a bunch of banquet beers. I'm like, dude, this is a good beer, and this is maybe like 3 years ago. Yeah, and that's what I drink now.
And Coors Light's my like probably favorite tasting. But banquet, like there's something it hits real smooth. It's real nice, dude. And like I said, there's definitely some nostalgia in there. Because my dad growing up, he always smoked Marlboro Lights and drank banquets. And I mean, I remember whenever they came back out with the little bottles, the little classic bottles. Him and his friends were all so stoked. It's like.
Are you talking about the
little
stubby
chubby,
bottles? Yeah, I still buy those suckers.
They're
dude.
sick, man. My favorite is bottled beer
Yeah.
in general. Like I love a glass bottle. I think it tastes better.
I go draft bottle can.
Yeah. I've never been a draft guy. Like I said, I really just started kind of drinking beer this year, so maybe it's.
I'm a bit of a connoisseur.
Yeah,
I got a few years of beer drinking. Under my belt. I'd probably drink. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how many beers I've drank in my life.
Dude, I thought about, I've had talks with my guys about this. I would love for like at the end, I'm a video game nerd too. So this is definitely that part of me, but I would love like when you die, like
see your stats
just right before you go to heaven or hell, wherever you're going to go. Like, yeah, you're sitting there with somebody who's like, you want to scroll through your lifetime stats? Like how many pisses, how many shits, how many beers, what was your top food of your life? You know, like what'd you eat the most? That'd be so cool, dude.
I would really love to see that.
Oh, dude, you know, it's got to be something like that, right?
Maybe we're onto an app. You know what I mean? Like a lifetime.
I'm just going to have to guesstimate on my first 26 years, dude. That's,
I know.
Could you imagine an app?
I'm sure there's an algorithm that you could get an average over the course, of, I'm going to say 5 years.
Yeah.
And then tone it down a bit as it goes, as you get younger to give you an average to get you somewhere in the ballpark.
You're right. You're right. That would be. I
want to see my stats.
Maybe that is a hell of an idea.
Maybe we should cut that part out, Trevor.
Yeah, we might be go ahead and stop that. That's ours.
So, highlight of your career this far,
man. I would say just playing Billy Bob's, playing the Opry.
Billy Bob's and the Opry. Those are two really cool spots.
Man, they're so awesome. They're really like, and especially like for a Texas kid coming. Like I never even expected to play the Opry. Honestly, like that was just like I didn't even think about it. I was like, that's not going to happen. Like, that's not me. They're not going to let me come play the Opry. Like have a song where the hook is "fuck you." So I was just, like that's probably a different lifetime, whatever. But we've played it like 4 times now.
No shit.
Yeah, man. Which is
awesome.
Like, it blows my mind every time I think about it. But and same with Billy Bob's. I think we just played Billy Bob's for the 5th time, I want to say. And it was another one that, like, as a kid, that was like my pinnacle. Like I said, I didn't think I was leaving Texas or Oklahoma, and it was like Billy Bob's is the place.
David Allen Coe live at Billy Bob Thornton's.
Dude, I love
that album.
Yes, man. Yeah. All of those albums for the live at Billy Bob's. The Randy Rogers live, the Wade Bowen live, the Ragweed live, the Pat Green live.
Yeah. I've never seen Ragweed in concert.
Dude, me either. And that's like, like there's Waylon, and then like Ragweed is right there. Like, in my opinion, the Ragweed Garage record, their Purple record, and their Soul Gravy record is like the greatest 3-album run of all time, as far as like top to bottom songs on every record. And again, there's some heavy nostalgia there. Like that's the shit that my dad was bringing home, and getting home from work at like 6 p.m. He'd sit in his truck for 30 minutes, and as soon as he got home, I'd go out there and sit with him, and he would have a Ragweed CD, or he'd have like, Whiskey Myers is another one that's been a massive influence.
Those cats are cool, man. We had them on the last month, a couple months ago, and Cody, he's just so chill. I'm like, dude, I just want to be your friend, man. And you make fishing lures too.
So that's what I was gonna say, man. They're all from around my area. So like, I grew up in Bradford, and Cody grew up 15 minutes down the road. So like, and they're older than us, but in 4th grade. I remember is when they released their first. When I was in 4th grade, is when they released their first CD. I think it was 2008, and it was the Road to Life record. And I got home. It was kind of the same thing. My dad got home from work, and I walked out there, sat in his truck, and he's like, "I just got this CD at Cavender's, or wherever the hell he got. I don't know where he got it. It was normally Cavender's. He's like, I just got this CD. It's a band called Whiskey Myers. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah, they're all from around here. Like one of them grew up like in Mount Alba, and one of them grew up like Palestine or Westwood or Grapeland, or where all these places, whatever." And I was just like, what? Like how'd they make music? And now, he turned it on, and we're listening to it, and I was like, wow,
they're good.
This is incredible. And that first record, like, all the records are incredible, but that first record is still like, I don't think it's on streaming or anything. Like you can't even go, like, you got to go to like YouTube to find it. Like really? I thank God, dude. They're shout out Eddie. He their manager. He sent me the record. They're like Road to Life record on vinyl, so I have it at the house to listen to whenever I want. But it is that was another one, man. It was just like wow, you can make music and be from East Texas, like, and you can live here and like still make music. Like I still live in Texas and I'll never leave, you know? And, yeah, it's cool, man. It's just so much.
How often do you come to Nashville?
It's like once every 2 months or so, kind of. But it kind of varies. Like sometimes it's like once a month. Sometimes it's like I won't be here for 3 months because we're so busy on the road. But I'm here a good amount every year.
You come here just to ride or just
ride and like stuff like this, just anything. Man, there's so much. There's so much stuff here.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I can come here for 3 days and make a hell of a week out of it. You know.
Do you have any more hunting trips lined up this year?
Oh yeah, man. We live out on my grandpa's land, so I've been itching, man.
So you can go crush some. You can just go out in the morning, and put something on the ground.
We're lucky, man.
Yeah,
we really
have
are.
it hanging before breakfast.
Totally, man. And he's got a couple ponds out there to fish on too. So like we got the perfect little. You know,
what type of setup do you like using for your girls when you go fishing? I'm typically just a worm and bobber guy right now.
Yeah.
But my oldest one, she's now she's now 9 and been fishing for a while. Went to Minnesota this last year got her and she's the one that I didn't think would be into fishing and hunting, right? Just because she just hadn't shown that much interest.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, we're up in Minnesota and she taps on my shoulder like 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, Dad,
dude,
you want to go fishing? I said, absolutely.
That's awesome,
right?
dude.
And but got her into pulling a lure. Right.
Yes.
And so she's now proficient enough to cast, and she was catching northerns on her own, which is great, right?
That is
and
awesome.
we're doing a lot of trolling, but we have this little creek behind our house. I just live a couple exits away, and bring them down there. And I like to go old school where we dig up worms in the lawn, and we'll catch caterpillars down by the creek.
That's
and,
awesome, dude.
Put them on the hook, and they're hammering it now. But I was just trying to think of another, kid-friendly rig besides a bobber and a split shot and a worm. You know?
That's what I started her on, and you'd tear them up on it out there. Like these are great little just farm ponds. Like there's some pretty good bass. So I've caught I think about the biggest this summer is about a 4-pound bass out of there, and it's like hell yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good enough for me, brother. Anything over 2 pounds, I'm like having a hell of a time. Yeah. Just to fish in general gets me stoked. But she was on the worm, and after the first couple times, she was watching me. I throw everything, dude. I've got a tackle box of basically anything. Well, I mean, I need to replenish because I've lost a few, but I've got spinners, buzz baits, and I've got 4 swim baits, all like different sizes. And so I'm out there throwing all this shit where I'm like, constantly reeling stuff, and she's just sitting there, and she's like, "Can I throw what you throw?" It's like, yeah. I mean, if you want to try it, I'll teach you or whatever. And so she has this one little swim bait. It's just like a little one that she'll use a little bit. She hadn't caught anything on that one, but she oh man, just the little soft plastic swim baits, that come with the hook already in it and the
beetle spins.
Oh, she kills on those. Yeah. That's one of them that she. I got 2 of those, and man, I was out there fishing with an outrageous like a 6-inch long swim bait, just that's where I caught the 4-pounder on. So it's like I'm gonna do it again, and she's out there with the little beetle spin just ripping crappie out of the water. Just like one of the times we went fishing this summer, I caught 1 bass and she caught 12 fish in the same hour that we were fishing.
I still go back to beetle spins for a slump buster. Because you can catch, dude, I mean, everything bites those fuckers.
Everything, man. Yeah. Like it is really impressive. But she's those little soft plastic, just like swim baits that come pre-hooked and stuff that, like in the power baits.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
She loves those because they're, simple enough to where I'm just like, throw it out there and just kind of reel it in. And she kills it on that. But then I'll give her like a wacky rig sometimes. Like if we've been out there for a little bit, nothing's happening. Let's just like just put a wacky on and just play with it, and she'll kill it on that. But she just likes she likes using anything that I'll let her use. Really, like some things like I don't know if that may be a little bit too much for your little Barbie pole right now to handle a buzz bait. I don't know if you can rip that across the top of the water or whatever, but
yeah, I caught so much shit. We're at my grandma's place. She used to have a place on Lake Hartwell in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And my daughter has her little Barbie pool there.
Yeah.
And I just have a split shot on it and a worm, because you catch catfish right off the bottom or off the dock, right? So she didn't have to cast far, just drop it straight down. And I think we both have to go pee, if I remember correctly. So I hang her little butt off the dock, and I walk to the end of the dock, and I'm going pee afterwards, and that pole just starts going because I just laid it down on the dock, and it just sails off the edge. Like, Dad, my pole. I'm like, and she still brings it up.
Yeah,
it's like, I used to have a barbie pole, but Dad lost it.
My pole? Yeah, dude, that's absolutely, man.
Have you been with your kids while you've shot a deer yet?
No, not yet.
Neither have I.
Not yet, man. Yeah. That's what my oldest, and that's, my dad, he was taking me hunting from like 3 or 4, like a real young age. I was going out there with him, and I think I was probably 4 or 5 when I shot my first deer, maybe 6.
Really?
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
That sounds right. Maybe 6 or 7. Maybe I was 7, but I'd been hunting for a couple of years, going at least sitting with him and whatnot. And Josie, we've lived in Tyler the past 5 years or 4 years. So, living out there, we're an hour away from the house. I went hunting a couple times, but it was like she was young and didn't really want to have any interest in it. But randomly, at the beginning of this year, she was like, it was like, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for your birthday? And she's like, I want a gun. It's like, what the fuck? You don't want Barbies or something? She's like, no, I want a gun. I want to go hunting.
Yeah.
It's like
a Mac 10.
Hell yeah. All right, cool, man. That's awesome. That's actually badass. I didn't know you even cared about that. So I just for her birthday, I had this old gun that I used when I was a kid. It's just this little 223 that's like the breakover barrel, probably that big or so. And it's what I killed my first deer with. And then I gave it to my brother whenever he started hunting as a kid. Mm-hmm. And, now it's just like sitting there. I was like, wow, that would be like the perfect starter gun. Like just barely kicks. Yeah. You can kill something with it. And, whenever I get back, that's what I need to take her out. I'm going to take her out and get a target and actually let her shoot it. Cause she shot, I've let all my kids shoot a little I have this little 22 pistol, like just revolver, and we have this little turtle pond that is, it used to be a good fishing pond, and now there's probably 150 turtles in it. Like they've just
decimated the fish boundaries.
Yeah, there's no fish left in that thing. It's just like you walk out there and you'll literally see 40 turtle heads popped up. So let's go out there and
great target practice.
Yeah, dude, the best. I don't know if I've ever actually even killed the damn turtle, but God, I've wasted some ammo out there, But I took them out there and I just, all right, kind of teach them a little, just dangerous. Like you just got to make sure you never point at anybody. And then, get the hammer ready. Yeah. Or I give it to him, wrap my hands around, just, all right, now you aim. She'd pull it back and bam. And she's like, oh, this is awesome, And my second girl, she's definitely not she's not the outdoors type. She loves dancing and ballet. And I took all 3 of them fishing, my boy, my oldest, and Charlie, my middle. At one point this summer, and I had all the poles out there. My wife was out there, had them all rigged up, and was using just worms and bobbers. Like this will be the easiest for me to keep track of whatever. And I dropped Josie's pole in, dropped Charlie's pole in.
What's her name?
My oldest is Josie. My second,
my middle
Charlie.
daughter's name's Josie.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah. So my oldest
after the outlaw Josie Wales.
Dude, I was in a massive Blink-182 phase, and they're one of my all-time favorite bands. And when we first had her, I was just looking for girl names, and they have a couple songs with the name Josie in it, and I was like, that's a sick name, dude. And yeah, Josie Wells.
We named my oldest daughter June after June Carter.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we're searching for another J name. We couldn't find one, and the outlaw Josie Wales is on TV. Yeah. And I click on it. She's like, "What do you think of the name Josie?" I said, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Yeah, IE for a boy or EY for a girl, and or vice versa." Yeah. And I'm like, I fucking love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so my middle daughter is named after the outlaw Josie Wales.
That's so sick, man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're completely fine, man. My youngest boy is named Carter, and I took them all out there. I get their poles dropped in the water, and I swear, as soon as Charlie's hit the water, it went under, and I didn't even get to fully hand it to her. I dropped it, and it's like, oh, here you go, and she started reeling it in. Reels up a big ass crappie. I was like, yeah, let's go. She's like, woo, woo. And you want to hold it? No. All right. So I held it by her and took a picture or whatever. Yep. And tossed it back in, put the worm back on. It's like, all right. She's like, are you ready to go? I went, what? She's like, we caught a fish. You said we were going to fish. We caught a fish. It's like, yeah, that's the part. We're going to keep doing that. She's like, oh, I'm ready to go back to the house. And it's just like, shit. all right, dude.
I think kids will, this is my prediction. I think, so I try not to do anything longer. Like if they want to go hunting or sit in the blind, we can be in line blind 40 minutes. If they say they want to go, and this happened a couple times, I leave that because I never want them to be like, oh, I got to go hunting with dad.
Yeah, totally.
And so I dance around that, very, very lightly. Yeah. And, but I think they're going to end up liking hunting eventually, just to spend time, just have daddy-daughter time,
totally,
right?
Man. Totally. I feel like that will happen.
Yeah. And my daughter, my oldest, just loves elk meat, or they all do. And I just shot a cow elk last week and was able to have it butchered and brought it home. I shot it last Monday and came home on Thursday. And so we've been eating elk steaks every night. Dude, and so I think my daughter's going to end up being an elk hunter, as she gets older. Well, so I'm stoked about that.
We went out Tuesday or last Tuesday and or Wednesday, whichever day, and it was like we went out the day before and hunted, and it was Monday because we went out Sunday and we hunted for the first time, and we got out there we got up at 5 o'clock and got ready. Then we drove down to the stand, got down there at 5:30 or so, and sunlight comes at 6:15, and about 6:15 is just bright enough to kind of see. And she looked up in the corner of the stand, and there's just, a wasp nest that looked like those damn lights, dude. Whoa. And there's probably about 6 or 7 just sitting on it. And she was like, I freaked out a little bit. I was like, it's all right. Like, they're still kind of waking up. Like, if they start messing with us, we'll get out of here. They just don't freak out. It'll be fine. Don't mess with them, whatever. And we stayed in there till about 8:15. And it was my Charlie, it was her birthday. So then about that time, we just went back to the house and got ready for birthday stuff. But next day we went out there and we sprayed wasps, and she was like, can we go hunting too after? And I was like, yeah, we'll see. And I just see how bad the stand goes. Like, I don't really want to be sitting there with a bunch of wasp spray and all that stuff. And I go up in there, and dude, when I opened the door in the middle of the day, there was literally probably 30 or 40 wasps sitting on the thing, and I was like, holy shit.
That's happened to me before as well.
Went up there, and I'm up on the top part of the stand. They start flying. I jumped down from the top land, and I started sprinting back towards the T-Rex to kind of get away, and I turned, and when I looked, and the entire time I had the kids yelling, don't get stung, Daddy, don't get stung. And it was I had my oldest and my youngest, and Charlie was back. Charlie was at her I guess her grandma's, and I swear, dude, I got back to the T-Rex and turned and looked, and I saw 20 or 30 wasps fly out, and they flew 10 foot over us and just dispersed just out into the distance. At first, it was oh God, they're about to get me, and then they just left. It's like, all right, and whatever. Then we got in the T-Rex and we kind of went and started heading back home. She's like, I thought we were gonna go hunting. It's like, there's a bunch of poison in there, and whatever. We'll just go back. And we turned around. And I was like, we're just gonna sit in the T-Rex. So I just backed the T-Rex. Bright orange, backed it right up against the woods. I was like, we're not going to see anything. I have me, my 2.5-year-old boy, and then Josie. And I was really worried about Carter. I said, he's not going to whisper. He's not going to even understand that. But he did. He was doing great, whispering and yada, yada. I didn't even have my gun pulled out. I was like, we're not going to see anything. And after about 15 minutes sitting there, I was like, all right, I'll pull my gun out. So I got it out, and I'm just kind of holding it in my lap. We're just sitting there, just kind of talking, whispering, just bullshitting. And I'm just like, I'll probably sit there for another 30 minutes or so before we go. And I'm sitting there looking, talking to him. I look in front of us, and there's a illegal 8-point walked out, and I was like, holy shit. We saw when they're in rut, so they're just stupid right now. But he walked out, and I was like, oh, y'all be quiet. There's a good deer out there, and they're like, oh, a good deer. And I'm like, it's legal. We could kill it if we wanted to, but it was young. It would have been a great first deer for Josie. That's all. As we were sitting, I was like, damn, dude, I wish I'd taken her today to shoot the gun for the first time or whatever. But it was the perfect first deer. But it was also they kind of got to learn because it was walking up and just coming, and I was just like, oh yeah, there it is. And she's like, shoot it. And I was like, let me look at it. And I was looking at it, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna shoot it. She's like, why? You said it was legal. And I was like, just at this point in my life, I've killed a bigger deer, and it's we're a week or two in the hunting season, whatever. It's like I'd rather kind of sit and
Do you live in a one-buck county?
I think so. I can't. Okay. My wife was asking me that the other day. I need to look it up, because if not, then I seriously missed my opportunity. But I was just like, baby, like it's a really pretty deer, and it's skinny, and it's just young. If it survives a year, it's gonna be an even better deer next year. That kind of thing. She's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But in my head, I was like, certainly somebody's gonna shoot this fucking deer this year. Like, God, I hope not. But like I said, it's a great kid deer. So if it walks out on a kid, it's gone.
Were you hunting over a feeder?
No, really? we were just he's got one feeder down on a separate part of the land, but no, this stand's just like looking out over a big ass pasture. Like, I mean, at one point, like you'd have to have a decent gun to actually even
reach,
and
I'm heading to Llano, Texas at the beginning of next month for a deer hunt.
Let's go.
Yeah,
there's so many great deer out there.
One of my good buddies has a ranch out there, so I've been going out there every year for the last 5 years maybe, or I missed a year or two in there as well. But I killed one of the deer that I'm most proud of out there.
Oh, nice, man.
It was, I think 154 or 158 inch.
Dang,
and this is a low fence, and the neighbor came over afterwards and actually scored it for me. And he's lived in Llano his whole life, and he's like, yeah, the biggest deer I've seen up here in hill country is like 130 inches, or 134 or something like that. Yeah, and man, I was shitting my pants.
Yeah.
So I was hunting with a buddy, Joey, and Bob, a friend who owns the joint. He's like, Sam, there's a trophy out there. And because for years I show up, and I don't care what I shoot. I'll shoot the ugliest 8-point on the farm. I just enjoy the camaraderie and the process,
man. And the meat and everything. Yeah, there's so much that goes into it.
100%, right? And he's like, I want you to shoot a trophy this year. So I was felt extremely lucky and blessed that he has me out, just to even hunt.
Yeah.
And so Joey and I are sitting in this box blind, and I see him come out of the thicket of mesquite trees back there, or whatever they were. He jumps over and and I have two does right next to me, and they're hot, right? Yeah. And he jumps over into the pen, right out of the pen, and walks right at us. Never turns broadside. And my grandpa bought me this old lever action at a flea market when I was, in the 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah.
It's a 35 Remington. It's what it's chambered in, but the gun's a Marlin. And I put like a vortex scope on it and got it all cleaned up. And he's facing me at like 70 yards, 100 yards at the most. And those does start stomping a little bit, and he's just locked in on him. I'm like, man, I'm going to put it right on his chest. And I've never taken that shot before.
That's a
so
tough
I put
shot,
it right
dude.
on his chest. And then I come off the gun, look up, and he's running away. And I looked at Joey. I said, did I hit him? He goes, you fucking destroyed him. He's like, I watched that shockwave go through his body. And then he just gets right off, the shorter grass into, where the higher grass was, and, piles up right there.
Yeah,
but
dude.
I love hunting in Texas,
bro.
man.
It really is awesome. And just hunting in general, man, it's just such just being out in nature and having that just like release of like, there's nobody here to fuck with me. There's no one, like, it's just me and God out here. Just
I try to explain that, because that's at Outsider, our company. That's our main program that we push. Like, hey, just get outside. Right? Like freedom through the outdoors, mental freedom, from all the noise, in your head, and the noise, in our world right now, and the freedom that's provided by folks, that have gone before us and fought and died for this country, right? So, but I also try to push this message to as many veterans as we can. Like, man, if or anyone that's has anxiety or stress about business, just go try hunting.
Totally,
right?
man.
Or you don't even have to hunt. Bring a bottle of wine to a deer blind and just watch what happens around you, and you'll understand.
Go sit up against a tree. Just get outside and just watch nature, man. It really is like
it's healing,
with
man.
That 8-point, man, walking out, it was like I was completely tickled just sitting there watching it just do its thing. Just watching it be a damn deer, and just my kids getting to experience that too. But same with fishing, man. Like I can go out there and sit on a pond and not catch anything and be like, nice, I'm out here in nature, just unplugged a little bit. And it really is. It's definitely a healing thing to the mind. And dude, I love going outside and grounding and just no shoes on, just feet in the grass.
For sure.
Oh, dude, there's nothing like just touching grass, just feet bare, feels, feel like you're damn Indians and cowboys outside, man.
I love it. Well, Kolby, I appreciate you coming on, my man.
Yeah, man.
I wish you the best of luck. Will you tell everyone where they can find you and what you have going on this upcoming year?
Go Kolby Cooper anywhere. Kolby with a K, Cooper with a C. And, we post everything we're doing on there, post any new music we're putting out on social medias. Go to our website, Kolby Cooper Music. Look for tour dates near you. We're always playing, always doing the thing, man.
I appreciate you, my man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.